Hey everyone, I'm Laura Jewett with the Inspired Living Real Estate Collective, and today I have the great pleasure of meeting with Melissa with Zen Tea. She makes homemade teas or handcrafted teas, and that are so amazingly delicious, and we want to know all your secrets, but how you got started and everything else. So thank you so much for joining us. So why tea?
Tea. So I originally have my degree in exercise, nutrition, and wellness, and I absolutely love tea because growing up, my grandmother, she spent that one-on-one time with us having tea. We would go pick out our cup, and I just remember feeling really special, and like tea time was amazing, and she would listen to us. I'm one of 8 kids, so it was a big deal, like, to be listened to. So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So as I grew up, I got more and more into tea. Like I said, I got my degree in exercise, nutrition, and wellness. So I did my dissertation on the ergogenic effects of green tea.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I was running marathons, and I was like, what could I utilize that is natural and healthy, but will help increase my performance?
Okay.
So after doing all the research, I was like, wow, tea is even more amazing than I thought. At the time, I was going to college in San Francisco, and so I had access to really good Chinese teas from Chinatown and downtown. And so I would go tea tasting, started getting into really, high-end teas. Fast forward, I became, a school teacher. I was teaching health and phys ed for 16 years. And then in the midst of that, I was like, wow, is this as good as it gets, So I was like, okay, what can I do that will encompass tea? So I found the International Tea Masters Association online. I became a certified tea sommelier. Then I became a certified tea master, and then I became a certified tea blender.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I want to create my own tea blends. I did a lot of fitness work and competitions. And I wanted to create a line of teas that were going to be dessert centric without having calories or anything like that, to disrupt whether you're doing intermittent fasting or you're doing fitness stuff or you want to use it as a pre-workout. So I created a line of teas for that. And then in working with the CEO of the International Tea Masters Association, he was like, why don't you become one of our trainers? You love to teach.
Oh, wow.
You love tea. So I came back from my first class teaching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do with my life. Yeah, like this is it. Like this is the epitome of everything I love, because I love to share my passion about health and fitness, but I also love tea. And so it just encompassed everything that I ever wanted. So yeah, so now
you're like that lucky person that turned what you love into your career.
Right. And so, I was doing both for a long time, and the International Tea Masters Association, by teaching those courses as a teacher, I was able to buy my own home in the Bay Area, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
As you know. So then making the move here to Arizona, I was able to buy a much larger house, be able to kind of supplement my income more. So I was able to go tea full time. So yeah, so that's the story behind it.
That's amazing. So with teas, so it's obviously you have the line of teas that you have curated, available online, but then you also loved, like you're saying, share that passion. So how do you do that with the tea parties? Tell us a little bit more about.
Yep. So I have tea workshops that I do. I usually set them up online, and then it's in person, usually somewhere here in Arizona. Sometimes it's Gold Canyon, sometimes it's Phoenix, Gilbert, local areas. I just created a new one, which I'm super excited about, which I think you're going to love. It is a sourdough making and tea tasting class, which is super fun and awesome. And all of my students will go home with sourdough starter, the recipe, and how to do it. And then I'll take you through all 4 stages of doing the sourdough. And then, of course, have tea tasting.
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually went to a sourdough class.
Did you?
Got the starter, but then never did anything with it, because unless it's hands-on, you
just
don't
it's going to be a hands-on class. See, and that's where it's like, that's kind of like what I love. Because, kinesthetics was my undergrad. It's like, if you don't have hands-on, you're not going to really understand how to do it.
How to do it or how
exactly.
to replicate.
So so I do that, and then I also still work for the International Tea Masters Association with I do certified tea sommelier courses, how to start your own tea business, how to blend tea. I do all of those classes, and then plus I teach my own classes. and do my own workshops. And of course, I offer tea tastings and tea packages.
Busy lady.
Yes.
Which, having gone to the tea tasting classes, they're super fun and educational, and just all these things that you just take for granted, like with tea, that you just never think about, or no, you just enjoy it and drink it and love it. But then, and the differences between the freshness and just like the flavors that come through with your teas and the stuff that I would traditionally just buy at the grocery store.
So different.
Yeah, so different. And then that it's proper to slurp your tea. Tell us why it is proper to slurp your tea.
To slurp your tea because it aerates the tea as you bring it in on your tongue. And, it's been used for centuries in China that way. And, here in the United States, we have all these rules about, oh, don't slurp, it's so rude and all this stuff, But in my class, you're allowed to do that. So,
which is super fun. And then with this, you also get to travel. And I think you just took a big trip to...
Yes. I just came back from Korea and the Philippines.
Wow.
But I've had the opportunity to travel around the world. Honestly, because of the title of Tea Master and because I work with the International Tea Master Association, I get invited to different tea farms and places to help learn about their specific tea so I can bring that back to my students. And of course, tea, just like any education, is very hands-on. So being able to offer that, whether I do an online course or I do in-person classes, which we are going to be having more in-person classes here in Phoenix, Arizona. So super excited about that. And so those are coming in May 24th and 25th. So I'm super excited about that.
That's super fun. And then, so always creating new and different blends, and then seasonal favorites.
Right. Pumpkin pie is the seasonal favorite. That one's crazy. And then it's like the rest of the year, it doesn't sell. So I just only do it seasonally.
Oh, I think pumpkin, because I always get so disappointed. So Trader Joe's is my hotspot for everything pumpkin, and I'm always so bummed when pumpkin season's over.
Right? Because it's like, oh, no, wait till next year, Yeah.
That is my favorite. So that is awesome. Well, okay, so definitely check out everything is online with your class schedules, the tea varieties. I know you do special packages for different special occasions, for Valentine's Day or different things. So all of that stuff is online. So just order direct.
You can order online direct, or you can book a tea tasting if you really, you're curious, you want to try it out first, you want to book a tea tasting with a few people, and then that makes it really easy.
Which I would highly recommend because there's so many different varieties, and you just don't, you don't want to buy something that maybe not your favorite.
Right, or what you're looking for. The number one question I get asked is, what is the healthiest tea? And it's like, well, depending on what health benefit you're looking for will determine the type of tea that you want. So tailoring it more to what you want and what you're looking for is really the key.
So I think people underestimate the power of tea. So what are some of those health benefits?
So health benefits overall for tea for Camellia sinensis, and we're not talking about like herbs. Herbal tea is technically not a tea because it doesn't come from Camellia sinensis, but we're talking about the plant Camellia sinensis. And what really sets Camellia sinensis apart from any other plant in the world is the L-theanine. The L-theanine is a non-protein amino acid that helps increase the gamma waves in your brain, increase focus, memory, decreases anxiety. It slows down the absorption of the caffeine. So like, let's say, your matcha has 80 milligrams of caffeine and your coffee has about 110 milligrams of caffeine. The difference is it goes straight to your bloodstream with coffee. With tea, it slows it down over a 4 to 5 hour period, giving it to you in small doses, which doesn't then increase adrenal fatigue and things like that. So it's very, very different in the body. It always, all teas offer antioxidants properties, catechins, the L-theanine, like I said. The tea that has the most L-theanine, if that's something that you're really looking for, is matcha, because it's a crushed green and you're consuming the entire leaf.
The entire leaf, almost like a smoothie versus a juice.
Right. I mean, literally, it's a superfood. Yeah. And I think it just gets so underrated because it's not just for, consumption because it tastes good or whatever, but I mean, literally, it should be in your diet like every day when you have either a smoothie or something in some way. Just get it in, and then get all those extra added benefits.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest. I can't drink coffee during the day. Like if it's past like 9 a.m., I cannot drink any coffee, and it still just gives me that jittery feeling. I can drink matcha and I can
Right.
sleep
It's
that
just so
night. I
calming.
can, yeah, there's,
Right.
you don't get that buzzed feeling, but
Yes.
you feel
Yeah,
alert.
you feel alert, you feel calm, and this is why the Buddhist monks have used it for centuries for meditation, because it gets you to the alpha brainwave state without having to do anything. You're already there. So it's like, it's so conducive to that, whether it's if you're going into prayer or meditation or you just in a Zen moment, it really does do that. And that's why I call my company Zen Tea, because that's what tea does for me. And for me, it's my wine. It's how I relax. It's how I focus.
And your dessert at night too, with some of the
And
blends
my
that you
dessert,
make.
yeah,
Yes,
or all day long if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like you said, just a little touch of cream or coconut milk or something like
right.
that just gives it that little
That little
little
dessert flair, right.
Yeah, because some of the chocolate
Yep,
essenced
because I
teas
have the chocolate pu'er, which is phenomenal. And that one I can't have at night because it does have a lot of caffeine, and for some reason that one will keep me up thinking about all the things, you know.
It's a breakfast tea.
And it's a breakfast tea, but it is a delicious dessert, and it's such a great probiotic because it is aged, so it goes through that full fermentation process. So it's, you know, if you're thinking of bloating, like most of my clients who get off coffee go straight to pu'er or matcha. Those are the two that I usually get them on.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you'd always think like peppermint tea or something like that for
Yeah.
the stomach or for the digestion.
And that helps
but
too.
you can,
Yeah,
I
I
can
have
drink
some
the
of those
chocolate
too.
tea for digestion. That's
Right. Perfect.
I'm all aboard on that one. So
Yeah.
well, so fascinating. I hope that you guys learned a ton about tea that you didn't know and like how beneficial it truly is. But again, not all tea is created equal.
Yeah.
And how it's sourced and you know how it's made. All do
Oh my
really
gosh,
impact.
make a huge factor.
Huge factor.
So normally what you get in the grocery store is crushed dust, and what we call it is fannings. And that's basically what they sweep up. So tea goes through processing, and it goes through different types of processing. They take out the large pieces, the full pieces. They sell that as a top grade, and then it goes down the line all the way down to your tea bag. And really, the tea bag itself, because of the nanoplastics and the bleach and all the other stuff that they put in it, is not a good choice. If you do have tea bags at home, I would strongly suggest that you just cut them open and put them into an infuser, and at least you're not getting that, and you're getting more of the nutrients, because a lot of the nutrients can't even fit through those little fibers.
Okay.
So,
and not to mention what it's actually made of.
Right.
So,
and then it's, you know, dust tea, fannings. It's not going to have a great flavor. You're not going to be able to steep it more than once. So the value is in high quality tea. You're able to steep it more. You get more for your money. So it ends up being a better price.
Well, and it tastes better and it has more health benefits and like all down the
all
line,
the things.
all the benefits.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys all have a chance to try the amazing tea. I have to say I've tried probably
6 or 7.
I think more than that. I think,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you? It's been a couple occasions.
Yeah. So, but yeah, fabulous tea. I'm going to be getting more matcha while I'm here. I'm almost out and can't have that because it is absolutely amazing. It starts my day. Hopefully you guys can make it part of your routine, get the health benefits of it yourself. And we appreciate you guys joining us. If you have a small business that you like featured on our podcast, please just reach out to us. Thanks so much.